Welcome to yet another section of Fanø VideoGuide, this time about the ferry passage between Fanø and the mainland, Esbjerg. As you will appreciate from this time-lapse recording, going at 25 times normal speed, it is, even though it's speeded up here, quite a busy crossing. The ferry will spend 12 minutes crossing, followed by 8 minutes in port, unloading and loading, before departure for an equivalent 12 plus 8 minutes in the opposite direction. So this provides for departure every 40 minutes from either side. With one ferry, and then of course with two ferries, it will allow for departure every 20 minutes. Back in the Middle Ages, there was no need for a regular ferry service. The island was inhabited by a few fishermen, and they of course had their own boats, and the few travelers going to the island could arrange passage with these fishermen. But from 1699, for the first time, an exclusive license was granted for the crossing. And almost 100 years later, in 1793, exclusive license was granted to the owner of the old inn in Norby, the Kroborn, which is a center of commerce during that time. However, the innkeeper Jacobsen has to give in the license again. He is not capable of making a viable business, and for decades this pattern repeats itself time and again. The operators are not capable of making a profitable business. However, in 1878, the operator Hans Svare installs the first steam-driven ferry, the SS Fanø. But it was still difficult. Many operators came and went again, and as tourism began to flourish in the 1890s, there was a lot of dissatisfaction about the comfort and capacity of the service. Some perspective of resolving these problems wasn't introduced until 1919, when the Postal Service took charge. But it wasn't until 1926 they put into service the first car-carrying ferry, the MF Fanø, with a capacity of 500 passengers and 5 to 8 cars. In 1977, the responsibility is assumed by Danish Rails, but the service has again been privatized since 2007. Here we have arrival in Norby, but as promised, we are also going to have a look at some of the sites you may enjoy during the passage. First vessel we are going to examine is the NPI Resolution, the world's first offshore construction jack-up vessel from 2003. She is 130 meters long, 38 meters wide, and has a crane capacity of 600 tons. This is the Pacific Orca from 2012, presently the world's largest offshore construction vessel, and she's 160 meters long and 49 meters wide, almost like 2 football fields. And the colossal crane has a capacity of 1,200 tons. These vessels will load parts for offshore wind turbines, bring them out offshore, where they will then jack up on the legs in order to achieve a stable foundation for operating the crane in order to install the wind turbines offshore. These stills will give you an impression of the operation. The DFDS Seaway is a very familiar site, calling daily on the port of Esbjerg, still providing for the agricultural export to the UK, as was the original intent with the port and city of Esbjerg. Here we have another new offshore construction vessel, the Bold Tern. She is from 2013, 132 meters long and 39 meters wide, a crane capacity of 800 tons. This whole business of offshore wind turbine installation has almost exploded during recent years, and the port of Esbjerg has become a center of these operations in the North Sea. Finally, we are in for a view of the cruise vessels Aster's call on Esbjerg one early morning. Aster is from 1986. She is 176 meters long and 22.6 meters wide, has the capacity of 650 passengers and 300 crew members.